We bought a cottage on 5 acres in Wisconsin's Northwoods. Of course, the primary reason that we bought this place is that we're on a lake. But I thought one of the interesting things here is that nobody really seemed to use the lake much of the people that lived here in this house. In order for us people to want to use the lake more, it will need to be more accessible. It has this interesting feature. It's got a bog around the edge of the lake. Which is difficult to walk on. It's like a floating mat of vegetation. It's a really interesting ecosystem. I had a dock guy come out, and he wanted to charge me over $20,000 for a dock that would have seemed out of place in our rustic lake. So we decided to build our own. We have decided that this is the most expedient path out to the lake. I found floats for about $120 a pop, and the plan was to run treated 8-foot 4x4s between the floats. First we cleared the path, and then I used some scrap composite decking material to anchor the structure to the shore of the bog. Using galvanized lag bolts and washers, we attached the outside 4x4s at each corner of the floats. We assembled the structure for the first float upside down before flipping it, but then shifted to affixing the 4x4s in place. Next, we began securing treated 4-foot wide 2x6s with 3.5-inch deck screws. Note that the center 4x4s simply rest on the floats and are fixed in place by the deck boards.
Oh shit! You gotta let it go now.
Wasn't quite falling the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
With the help of my daughter and her friends, we quickly traversed the 90 or so feet of bog to the lake. Our flexible design would allow the boardwalk to withstand the vagaries of Wisconsin's harsh seasons, and I love the rustic, unassuming look of it. To wrap up Phase 1, we installed a temporary pier using posts and muck pads, with no small amount of consternation. Sweet dock. Phase 2 would have to wait for the fall and winter to pass by, but in the spring we were ready to build our floating dock. Lowrider. We assembled the dock on the bog with 6 floats and a treated 2x6 frame, lag bolted to the floats. I used dock brackets in the corners, which will allow us to add posts and muck pads if we ever feel we need to stabilize the dock. The path to the lake from the cottage was still a little treacherous, So I busted out some cinder blocks from a useless retaining wall and got some timber from the forest to make rustic steps with a railing. The dock and boardwalk have now weathered 2 and 3 winters respectively, with no damage to the floats. By adding access to the lake, we've made the cottage so much more fun for our family and our guests. And with a $5,000 investment, I think we've added tens of thousands of dollars to the value of the property.